Fox here. So I have played a lot of Madden 25 since launch, as you all know, and these are the things that have made me rage. Okay, you know me, a calm, collective individual, very demure, as they say. And I kind of want to go through. It's not going to necessarily be glitches. We'll talk about a little bit of that, but like it's going to be kind of like game balance here, in my opinion. Let me know where I'm right, I'm wrong. And we're just gonna kind of go through it as I'm gonna go down the list. All right. The boom system, right? They added a few new things to Madden and college. The switch stick being a runaway success. Great job, EA. Amazing work there. But the boom system, like the implementation of this, which nobody had asked for, right? Like nobody was like, hey, we should redo hit sticks. Like our biggest thing around hit sticks wasn't the fact that they were like, you know, bad, wrong, right? Like all they had to do was increase the fumbling chance, right? Like last year's system was fine. College actually has better looking tackling right now. The tackling system, it's wonky, like I said, right? You have like guys like, you know, raising up like the Undertaker. We hadn't seen that for quite a few years. To the extent we have it right now. The hit sticks, there's like too much of a suction with them. You can launch it too far away and still get successful as you like hit sticks stumble into a ball carrier. I've seen guys, you know, like I said, raise up from the ground, make tackles. It's worse than ever. And it really kind of, the problem with it is like, it makes me cautious to suggest anything to them because it feels like they did such a bad job here that I question their skills and creating Madden systems going forward, which is sad because I don't know why they keep changing things that don't need to be changing. It's very similar to the passing system a couple years ago. They keep messing with things that are perfectly fine. Make the changes that the community asks for, not to things that aren't a problem in your game. You're just wasting your development time and efforts, okay? And then like, you know, they took out like, you know how we used to be able to like suction dive from behind guys? They took that and like the horizontal dive system is like, just you can dive over like two different gaps and then tackle a ball carrier over there. It's one of the reasons why the run game's gone down a little bit. We'll talk about that as we go forward. Next up, this is just, you know, community. I'm just gonna put it down. Everybody knows that deep thirds don't defend corners right at their face. They're really bad. Deep thirds and deep zones themselves are so bad right now. Like they'll be staring at the quarterback. The quarterback will be throwing it. Now, I understand you don't want, like, the Madden, was it 1891 zone? Like, as soon as the quarterback pulls back, the guys are reacting. But NFL players, when the quarterback's going through their motion, they react. They're going. Like, watch Minkah Fitzpatrick play. The quarterback goes back. He's breaking on the ball. Now, not everybody's Minkah Fitzpatrick, obviously, but, like, some of the high-end 99, play rec 99 zone cover guys should be breaking when the quarterback is going into its motion. Now, obviously, like, you know, pump fakes are a thing in the NFL. You don't really see them in Madden as often because we've had pump fake glitches, and that's fine. It is what it is. There needs to be better reaction when they're literally looking at the ball, looking at the quarterback. They shouldn't stand there flat-footed. I've seen a guy look at the quarterback, do a 360, then go. It's crazy how bad zones are, and not only being traffic cones out there, and bailing out, but they also, when they're staring at the quarterback, just don't react to the ball being thrown at them until it's already like at the receiver just about. I get it, low zone coverage should mean something, but like when my zone coverage is like in the 80s and 90, they shouldn't be having the same problem, okay? With that said, they've made safety play and deep third plays like back because they're deathly afraid of one-play touchdowns. But one-play touchdowns are not a bad thing, right? We saw Peyton Manning on Monday Night Football talk about how he bombs cover 4 quarters. Like, bombs are a real concept. The reason why we don't see them as much in the NFL is because of the pass rush. And we'll talk about pass rush a little bit later, which is something that I'm actually okay with some exceptions. We'll talk about that. I think EA is so afraid of their shadow about bombs that they make the safeties like book it out, right? They don't want to be like, hey, it's just so easy to pass the ball because everybody's just bombing it. And I get the ability to like easily roll out is a problem. And we'll talk about contains here in a bit, but bombs are okay. Bombs are real like football. There's a reason Portland concepts exist. There's a reason why pull routes exist. There's a reason why these things happen. So you shouldn't allow a defense to basically stay in the same defensive shell the whole game without something, a weakness, right? This is like not only real life, but it's also video game perfect. Like that you should have counters to the defensive counters, all right? So next up, we'll keep on zones. Also zones, like if you run a post pattern at that deep third like I talked about, cross their face, the guy's gonna be like, huh, okay, good luck. And then like you just run right past it. There should have to be pull routes for your players not to be idiots out there, right? You shouldn't be able to just run a post, run a corner. Exactly. Like, even like under zones. Hey, I wonder where he's going. And they'll just stand there like a traffic cone. So it's sad how it is, but it, you know, kind of how the game plays, and it needs to be looked at and address the intelligence of players out there in zones. On the other side, being able to press misalign your deep quarter zones and then watch me with Xavier Worthy, the fastest player, at least in MUT right now, being able to, like, so the guy's got 86 speed, Xavier Worthy, fastest guy in the game. He's inside, the defender's inside Xavier Worthy with him right there on the line of scrimmage, and the defender that's slower is able to do a 180 and sprint backwards faster than Xavier Worthy goes forward is absolutely busted, stupid, should not be allowed in the game. The fact that this misaligned coverage is actually better than aligning your coverage correctly, because if you align it correctly, sometimes they'll get like a press animation, the guy will go past them. So the fact that the worse defense you play as far as alignment, the better your defense actually plays is disgusting. You got to fix that. It's been an issue. It's been feedback for how many years now? Some years it's better than others, but this year it's absolutely terrible. And I don't know why this continues to be a problem in the game. So it's weird. Like you see guys in coverage when they turn their hips, they're kind of slow, right, out there. But at the snap the ball, the defense knows the snap count, okay? Which is whatever. Like, they don't have to simulate the defense reacting like 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second later than the offense, whatever it is. But they shouldn't be able to get off and get back quicker than the fastest guy in the game to just go straight forward out of the block. All right. Next up, let's talk about blitzes. There's a few you guys know the big ones. I like DB Fire still works, gets around tackles. Not even the worst in the game, but tackles still have trouble getting to like baseline DB Fire because like they called contains. Of course the tackle's gonna take the contains. They're gonna run outwards. It's like, come on. The ping ponging of players and double A gap when you pinch crash down, that kind of stuff. Those guys should be falling over. That should not be an effective defense. In fact, that should be the worst defense in the game. It really should. The guy should fall over. You could have all day. They should not, like, 3 guys should easily be able to block 4 if the 4 guys are going to 2 gaps. That's trip central. Okay? And they need to have gap integrity. There's no reason for double A gap to be this good. Next up. Run through blitzes, FS blitz and dollar. The linemen don't recognize it. Even in EA's new blocking system, even when your left guard is assigned to that player that's running through, and you can look at it pre-snap, the guy will still run through untouched because the left guard's brain's in la-la land. So, like, what's the point of your pre-blocking assignment if it's not going to actually hold throughout the play? Makes no sense to me. It really doesn't, right? Like, hey, I'm assigned to that guy. I see that guy's blitzing. Let me go pass him off to, I don't know, the quarterback. Just throw a good old lookout block, huh? Wild. I don't know. I like the hot feature and everything like that they added, but you gotta follow through if you're assigned to somebody. Abilities. Now, the game, abilities are very powerful, as we've seen over the years. Obviously, in MUT, they haven't wanted to do abilities very early. They've put them on X factors, and so they've tried to limit it that way. But, like, abilities themselves, I don't really have to go that much into how much they're going to change the game. Pick artists, I don't know why every DB doesn't just have pick artists built into them. Why do they take things away from us, like conductor, and then charges for us with abilities later on? Same thing. Like, why do college have Hot Row Master? Madden like, Hot Row Master, it's fine if you want it in give a few varied routes. Maybe Hot Route Master could be like, create a custom route on the field, like we see in so many thumbnails on YouTube. But, like, I don't get why you took away Zig's running back wheels, like the good man beaters, and it's so restrictive right now. It seems like a really poor job, EA. That college is much better for this than the pros. I really hate. Now, obviously, they've nerfed the spin in both games. Both games, it was overpowered. It is funny to see the people that were complaining about spin in college being overpowered complain about the spin getting nerfed in Madden. Because in college, everybody had Junkins, but in Madden, there was only a few people with Vernon Davis, and those people were complaining. But if you would have gave them a couple months when everybody had guys that could spin like that, they'd be complaining. So it's interesting to see some of the feedback happen, where both games had absolutely insanely overpowered spin move burst modes, and some people aren't able to look past their own MUT roster when they're making their feedback. So With that said, I think two things. It's really hard to balance spin and juke moves because being able to hit a right stick and have a defender just launch into a miss animation, I think is bad gameplay, right? Like a few years ago, EA took out all those like combined catch animations because people hated the animations of the game. They wanted a more free-flowing, a more stick skill game. So the fact that your juke moves and your spin moves are all right stick and not left stick, whereas I prefer left stick moves to make guys miss on the field and like arm tackles to get broken, that kind of stuff if you actually make a guy miss. So putting defenders into animations to get them to miss on that right stick is a bad idea, and I hate every single time I see it. Now, the issue becomes if you don't put defenders into animations, the CPU tackles much better than human players do. So the CPU needs to be in animations, but it looks terrible when it happens on the field. Otherwise, it's just gonna be click off central. So we need to be able to nerf click off cowards, but we need to also not have these unrealistic animations. And I think that's EA's job to solve that problem. Make computers able to get like when you So here's the scenario that's happening. When you're in the open field and you're moving, right? When you're making slight adjustments to your left stick, you can beat a user defender. Because it's hard to react, right? Like human reactions, I don't know, what is it, 0.3 of a second? Whatever it is. Computers, that it doesn't even, like they instantly react. Like you juke this, you go this way, the computer will instantly move as you're moving the inputs, right? They know the inputs you're making, they'll move and they'll tackle you. So there has to be some sort of 0.3, maybe even make it harder, 0.5 of a second difference in CPU reactions to the running back moving. I don't know, but I just know I hate clicking onto a guy and then getting put into an animation to get it missed. So that is something I needed to solve going forward. Another big thing, match coverage. I don't know why match used to be better. I don't know what they're doing to match. Why do they constantly degrade this system? It's literally only going back. I don't know who they have coding their game. Like match coverage is in the same category as the boom tech to me. Why is this worse? We should be getting better at match coverages. Like, what? You could literally go back to the match coverage system from, what was it, 21? Maybe it was 20. I don't know. Like, maybe it was even 19. I don't remember because it's been so many years now. But, like, when we actually had box checks in the game, it's so interesting to me that they keep nerfing match because I wonder if, like, EA wants bunch to be good. And since match coverage is the counter to bunch in real life, having match be bad is good for bunch players, and I think EA feels like the better bunches, the more game sales they happen. I don't get it. I really don't get why match coverage has gone unlooked at. Well, and it's actually been looked at. They've actually changed match coverage and they made it worse. Like why don't we have the match toggle and coaching adjustments anymore? Why did that go away? Why setting zone depths, match still happens behind it? Like why do you change these things that aren't broken? And instead of fix the one-play beaters against match, make the box system. What are you doing? Who is coding this? I honestly don't understand how it's gotten this much worse. Just like keeping up with the meta, man. The fact that bunch has so many dominant routes out of such a dominant formation, it makes it very annoying and very boring year over year. So you're playing the same thing over and over and over and over again and again. I don't know why they haven't changed anything in defense. Like college, dude, looking at all the college playbooks, such a breath of fresh air. And then you go to Madden, it's almost like, what, 90% unchanged in offense and 0% changed on defense. Did they add, they added a couple things, right? They added like a match. Is that only in college where two guys are manned up to the weak side and it's match to the front side? I can't remember. Did they actually add that to Madden or not? Does the person that does the playbooks, that idiot, like rename formations? Be like, look at that, we added in 15 new formations. Literally just 3-3 Cub is renamed to 3-3. Sorry, 3-3-5 wide is renamed 3-3 Cub. Ship it and clip it and send it, boss. We did it. I hate drop picks. I don't know why drop picks are in a competitive game mode. In simulation, W. Competitive game modes, terrible. You need to punish bad reads every single time. Just like an all-through can't sell a book. If it's a bad read, it should be punished. Alright, let's go down here to the next page. High point passes are overpowered. Do not know why they brought back this. Why did you unnerf this? Didn't you realize? Was the high point meta 19? I feel like it was 19, just to high points tight end. It's back, bro. Literally, they'll throw the ball at your user, and if it's a yard behind you, it's perfectly accurate, of course, and your user won't animate. Even if your user animates, they'll still come down with it. Hey man, that's life on the tight end side. That's why we get tall tight. It's terrible. You make a bad read, you get punished. Why is this not getting knocked out? Now, I can see the point of high points behind coverage, right? Like, you throw a bullet in the end zone and a guy on the goal line will go ahead and jump up and snatch it. Okay. The high point system should work there. If you're throwing a back of the end zone, a high point where it goes up, grabs it, comes down. But if you get a high point and you get hit, that should get knocked out. There needs to be a counter. And simulation game mode, if you throw a high point to Rob Gronkowski and say he gets his leg swiped, okay, maybe he can come down with it. He's a Hall of Fame. But in a competitive game mode, when everybody's about the same stats, like, why are my zones not knocking that out? Why are you able to take so much contact on an overpowered mechanic and still hang on to it? It should be risk reward, and there's very little risk to throwing a high point at the moment, both accuracy wise and coming down with the ball wise. All right, so next up, run blocking size just doesn't really matter. Now, the animation driven run game is both a benefit for the run offense and also a negative, right? Like, the only reason why for example, the run game doesn't work at time is the animation driven offensive line who just kind of like, oh, we look at you, all right, we'll get you. Or sometimes the run defense is only there because, like, you do like a semicircle with your user, and then like the O-line forgets that you exist, and like if you turn your back to an O-lineman in your life, they're shoving you into the dirt. You are literally eating earth at that point. But in Madden, you do a quick turnaround, the offensive lineman's like, huh, what is he doing? Oh, okay. And then you just run to the user. So it's frustrating. Like, it needs overhauls. Like, bro, why did they change the hit stick system when they've had major problems on O-line, D-line interactions for the run? Like, bro, I don't care if next year, if it takes, I will take this L. If you put Myles Garrett or Micah Parsons, widely known as at best the number 2 pass rushers in the NFL behind TJ Watt, if you put them on the cover just so you can use the excuse to revamp the O-line, D-line mechanics, I'll take that out. I will go ahead and buy that game and gladly play Madden 26. Fix the trenches. Your gameplay guy is a former NFL offensive lineman. Why are the trenches so often ignored? What? These are what we're asking for. Please, don't change things that don't need to be fixed again. Like, I swear next year, if you bring in another passing system, I'm gonna freak out. Oh, but revamp this. No, stop. It's fine. Leave it alone. Okay, your passing system, you change it year to year for some wonky reason. Like, next year, they're gonna change, like, possession catches or something. I don't know, like, what can they change that's not broken? Madden next year, I don't even, like, I feel like there's so many broken things in this game that it's hard. We're gonna change the fact that you can catch the ball with your hands. Instead, now, you can catch it with your legs. It's called the leg catch system. Go ahead and squeeze it. It's so dumb. Stop overhauling things that don't need to be overhauled. Start doing the things that have been major problems for years. Like, literally just listen to your community, please. Oh, I do want to talk about the pass rush, though. I actually think the stock pass rush is okay. This is a long paragraph, TLDR. The stock pass rush 4-man is okay. I really like all Madden. It's much better than college. College's stock 4-man is terrible. My biggest problem, though, is right here. 3-man pressure getting home way too quick. Due to either a glitch where both linemen on the double team look at him, go past them, and they don't engage with it. They said they patched it. It's not completely patched. Also, sometimes they animate and the guy just beats them both. The best offensive lineman in the game, almost equal stats to the defensive lineman. The defensive lineman just sheds 2 guys. You know how hard it is to beat a double team in the NFL? And we see guys in Madden beat it easier than they do beat single blocks. And then sometimes, like, I actually don't know what the good pass rush trigger is for 3-man pass rushes. I mentioned in this paragraph. In previous years, you blitz your user, hover in the gap, and then your 3-man would act like a 4-man with the amount of awesome animations that happens. I don't know why you have like a trigger system that's so easily fooled. Like, I feel like the 3-man versus 4-man pass rush system is like that one meme of that the one security guard that's like feeling at people as they enter a system, but he just got stadium, and he's just like ocular pack down, but he's like waving his hands past them and he's doing nothing at all. I don't understand why the insta sheds are in 3-man pass rush still to this day, and why is it so hard? When you drop 8, the punishment should be a bad pass rush. When you rush 4, you should have a good pass rush. There are holes in a 7-man defense. If you rush 5, you know, you should be a little bit better still. Like, I don't know what you need to do, but you need to fix this. Whether you need to be like, you know how like offensive linemen are on timers, like you get like 2 seconds and then they get their pass rush wins. Like a 5-man pass rush, you just get rid of all timers. 4-man pass rush, you keep your, I don't know, 1 second timer. 3-man pass rush, you get like an 8-second timer. Just don't even let them through. Make them have counters. 2-man pass rush, like a 50-second timer. Don't even let it through. You're gonna take as long as you want. They're gonna have to start sending guys from coverage at you. I don't know. Overall, seeing the top of the line and get in the game getting bulldozed 1v1 on a 3-man pass rush, it means your game sucks. So that's my problem with the Madden. Let me know what else I missed. Thanks, guys. That's it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. Page and a half of notes, but it's definitely a lot longer than that as far as the dev time they need to put into fixing a lot of this stuff. It's just sad. I mean, it's unbalanced, and it's probably my least favorite gameplay since 20, with how things are working with zones and everything I said. Anyways, that's it. Bye.